Hey guys, it's your old pal Alice Cooper. Basically, this is Spooktacular. So you're gonna be seeing a bunch of horror movies that have a Halloween theme to it. Look for it all this month.
Halloween! The original from 1978, a true horror classic. Directed by John Carpenter and stars a few select actors, including Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasance. And incidentally, Jamie Lee Curtis is the one where she made her a scream queen. And actually, this movie was shot on a budget of a mere 350,000 K, and it made about 50 million at the box office. What can I tell you? It was an instant classic. People seem to fall in love with Halloween right off the bat. Incidentally, it only took about a month for that 49 million to be raised. Actually, it's more like 45 actually, but still, that's still a lot. That's some great success. Anyway, so let's go ahead and delve into the plot. That is Halloween. Okay, so on Halloween night, 1963, in Haddonfield, Illinois, a 6-year-old boy named Michael Myers is dressed in a clown costume and mask and stabs his sister Judith to death with a really big kitchen knife in his house. On October 30th, 1978, he escapes from the Smiths Grove Sanitarium in a car that was broke to him in a court hearing. Let me go ahead and mention the beginning of it, where he's discovered in the front of the house. He's wearing the mask, and he's got this knife in his left hand, and the father drives up, and he finds Michael there, and then he says, "Michael," pulls the mask off his face, and Michael's got blood on his knife, and so, and then of course the Halloween theme music comes up, and then we cut to basically, you know, some footage of Michael in the mental institution, and there he spent 15 years until he escaped in 1978. So anyway. He escapes from the Smiths Grove Sanitarium in a car to take him to a court hearing where he is to be sentenced to life imprisonment. While escaping, Michael kills a mechanic and takes his uniform. He drives home to Haddonfield and steals a white mask from a local store, which incidentally is a William Shatner mask. Yeah. The next day, Halloween, he begins stalking high school student Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis, after she and Tommy Doyle drop off a key at the house so her father can sell it. Laurie's best friends, Annie Brackett, played by Nancy Loomis. Incidentally, that's a name that gets used in Scream, by the way. So anyway, and she also is she's also has a very small role in excuse me, Halloween 3: Season of the Witch. Plays the wife of the hero. So and Linda Van Clock dismisses her concerns that she is being followed. I want to go ahead and mention that they're walking down this street, and she starts seeing a man behind a bush, and she says, "Not only are you things going this way, you're seeing men behind bushes." Poor Laurie, scared another one away. And I want to go ahead and mention this close to that, where Michael is driving the car that he stole from the institution down the road, and one of the girls, I think it's Annie, says, "Hey, jerk, Speed kills. And he stops the car because evidently he can't take a joke. And the girl says, "Geez, can he take a joke?" So and then Laurie talks about her plans that she has to be doing some babysitting, and they're gonna be carving a jack-o'-lantern, and so anyway, let's go ahead and get back into the story. Uh, Michael's psychiatrist, Dr. Sam Loomis, played by Donald Pleasance. Very good job by him, by the way. Great actor. Anticipating Michael's return, he anticipates Michael's return from home. Meets with Annie's father, Sheriff Lee Brackett, and watches Michael's house, believing he will show up there. When Annie's boyfriend Paul calls her to come and pick him up, she takes Lindsay Wallace to the Doyle house to spend the night with Lori and little Tommy. After Annie gets into her car, Michael strangles her and slits her throat. Once incidentally, there's this scene where she's in this laundry room, and she's basically got panties on and a very sexy top on. Good scene, by the way. And there's this part where she gets locked in a laundry room and she has to scream out for the girl, "Lindsay! Lindsay!" And then the phone starts ringing. "That's Paul! Oh, come on! Lindsay! Lindsay!" And I also want to mention another scene where she's in the kitchen and she's baking popcorn, and the freaking dog is killed by Michael after evidently he doesn't like dogs, which is kind of sad because what about Boomer? All right, well, let's get back to the story. So anyway, after let's see, while playing hide and seek with Lindsay, Tommy sees Michael carrying Annie's body into the Wallace house, and believing he is a boogeyman, tries to tell a skeptical Laurie about what he saw. Let's go ahead and mention that he's actually in the living room. Actually, one of the movies he's watching is actually the original Thing that shows up on the television, which is kind of cool because it's kind of a nod to one of the movies he ends up making about 4 years after this movie is made. Cool, I guess. A remake that he made. So it's kind of a nod to that particular movie. So anyway, let's see. Let's see. Later, Linda and her boyfriend Bob enter the house to have sex. Incidentally, they call up Lori and they find out they have the whole house to themselves. So they decide to go ahead and have sex. So afterwards, Bob goes downstairs and is instantly killed by Michael, who impales him. He then poses as Bob in a ghost costume and confronts Linda, who teases him to no effect. Incidentally, she says, "See anything you like?" She's topless at this point, and she says, "Well, come on, where's my beer?" And he instantly kills her. Annoyed, she calls Lori. Just as Lori answers the phone, she says hello, and she starts moaning in the phone, and she says, "I'll kill you if this is a joke." And Michael strangles Linda with a telephone cord. Meanwhile, Loomis discovers the car Michael had stolen, confirming his beliefs that his patient is in Haddonfield. So let's go ahead and get into that part where Dr. Loomis's speech about Michael. So let me bring that up real quick.
I met him 15 years ago, I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
Very important part to the story. That's why I wanted to include that particular segment, because it kind of explains the dilemma that is Michael in the eyes of Dr. Loomis. So, let's see. 15 years ago, he met the 6-year-old child, and it was like, it's like that video was just talking about. And it's a good little story, a little backstory about Michael's origin, basically. Incidentally, this is something we already know, but it kind of delves into something that the beginning of it couldn't talk about, for obvious reasons. But anyway, so becoming suspicious, Laurie goes over to the Wallace's house and finds her friends dead in the upstairs bedroom. Incidentally, there's a grave of Michael's sister that he stole the headstone from one of the graves, and I'm going to mention like 4 or 5 scenes before that, where the grave is dug up, and the freaking caretaker is all like, "Stupid kids, why do they do this? They do anything for Halloween." And incidentally, they try to find the grave, and they have trouble because the headstone is gone. So that explains that whole dilemma there. Let's see. Michael suddenly appears and slashes her arm. Barely escaping, she retreats to the Doyle house, where Tommy lets her in before she tells him to hide upstairs with Lindsay. Let me go ahead and mention this one part where she says, "Go ahead, get on the phone and actually go out and go to Mackenzie's and ask for help." It's kind of funny because that was actually mentioned in Halloween H2O for a brief moment. Halloween H2O has a few moments that are a personal nod to the first movie. So anyway, let's get back to the story. Michael, let's see, gets in through an open window. And attacks Laurie. She stabs him in the neck with a knitting needle, and he collapses. Incidentally, she's inside the closet. Well, actually, it doesn't come to that yet. Laurie goes upstairs and tells Tommy and Lindsay that she killed the boogeyman. Tommy says, "You can't kill the boogeyman," and Michael reappears behind her. Duh. Tommy and Lindsay hide in a bathroom while Laurie opens the balcony doors and hides in the bedroom closet. Michael destroys the closet door to get to her, but she undoes a metal clothes hanger and stabs him in the eye. He drops his knife and she stabs him with it, and he collapses again. Laurie exits the closet and asks the children to go to the neighbor's house, the Mackenzies, and have them call the police. So, there you go. As they leave, Michael gets up again. Loomis sees Tommy and Lindsay flee the house, screaming as they leave, and goes and finds Michael's attacking Laurie upstairs. Laurie pulls off Michael's mask and stops attacking her to reapply it. After doing this, Loomis shoots Michael 6 times, sending him off the balcony. Laurie, in shock, concludes, "Was that the boogeyman?" And Loomis replies, "As a matter of fact, it was." Loomis looks down over the balcony to see that Michael is gone. So he didn't kill him after all. And then of course we cut to black, and the credits start to roll, and we had the Halloween theme music. Very good, by the way. So Halloween, it is a thoroughly enjoyable movie for Halloween. I highly recommend it. It comes on AMC. So what can I tell you about Halloween?
Halloween is a good movie and deserves a rating of peanut butter cups and a chocolate bar.
So this particular movie is a good movie for Halloween. I recommend it. You can get it for about $8. Uh, it's you get it on Blu-ray for like I said, $8. It's a good movie. Incidentally, you should go ahead and rent it. I highly recommend it. So go ahead and hit subscribe. Watch some more videos. Share and like, of course. Hit thumbs up to support the channel. Go ahead and leave a comment below. And thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time.